Yo, welcome to Table Ladders with Bumps, a wrestling podcast. I'm one third of your host, Greenside P. I got Marvelous and Marlon over here. I got Wade, the wonderful, on the other side here. Three big bad booty daddies taking over the internet wrestling game. Any given night, one of us can be 66.6% of awesomeness, while the other two are 33 and a third percent of greatness. I know it don't add up, but it don't matter because we're on a different level of podcasting. So if you got the freaks and you want the freaks, holler if you hit me. Mm.
Hump,
Oh.
hump, baby. There you go.
I'm
You guys ready to
I'm
get into
bought
it? We
in.
got the Raw review.
I'm still trying to calculate that math.
You don't need to. It just flows. Let me take my muscles out real quick.
Mr. Steiner math. That was good.
Yeah. So we got the Raw review for you guys today. Before we get started, make sure you guys like, subscribe, share, comment, give us feedback. Check out everywhere that we're at. Check out our reels, check out our shorts, check out our posts, check out the TikToks. Um, Anything cool that we're doing. We might come up with some merch pretty soon, hopefully. Maybe a TLB shirt, for the people, for the fans out there. Um, yeah, man, we got our Raw review. We got a 3 count. We got a no hate, just debate. We got a 10 full theories. And we got another thing we're gonna do. Got it, but not it. That's what we got, right? Yeah, that's what we got. That's
Yeah,
what I
that's
got on
what
my
we got.
list.
Got a full
So
agenda
we got,
today.
I know we got a plate for a
Yep.
smorgasbord of wrestling podcast topics for the fans here. I got the storm in the back. I'm back. I got power this week. Last week I had no power, living like the Amish, you know, candle lights. Had to tend to the animals before the sun went down. So I'm back in. I'm back now. So I'm back. I got electricity. I feel good about myself. I'm ready to pod. I missed you guys last week. I've been
Yeah.
like just itching to get back this week, so I'm here now. I want to kick off the Raw review if that's cool with you guys.
Let's do
You
it.
got it.
Let's go.
All right. So I'm kicking off with Priest and Gunther. For
Ooh.
me, this was the passion that I needed to see in this feud between the two. Um, I feel like it's been kind of written on the wall per se that Gunther's going to win no matter what. It's like it's kind of like like it's a given, and everyone's kind of assuming that Gunther's going to win. Um, and for a while now, it's been like we didn't know what kind of direction Priest was going to go in. Was he still going to be heel? Was he going to be face? Was he going to be like a tweener? And now this week we kind of got those clear like lines drawn between the two. Gunther came out and he kind of came out like reasoning, but he was still like, you know what? Skip this. Like he sucks. He's trash, and I'm superior. And he got the heat from the crowd, Green Bay, pouring out the heat for these guys. And Priest got feel like a very unusual pop that I wasn't expecting him to get like that. I'm like, what? Like we back in Priest? We back in Priest now? Like I'm liking it. So and then chaos. So I love who doesn't love chaos in wrestling. How do you guys feel this Priest versus Gunther is going to play out at SummerSlam? You guys have any early picks?
Ooh. um, I think we all discussed before, like that we think that Priest is going to come out on top. Yeah, Priest is going to retain on this one and possibly have room for either Bash in Berlin or Bad Blood for some rematches. But that's a short prediction right there. Priest is going to come out on top.
Who you got
Um,
with?
I flip flopped now. I think Gunther's gonna win. I thought Priest was gonna win for a while. Uh, but these vignettes too that Gunther's had are so good.
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
he's like bashing everyone too, like in them. Because I thought, I'm pretty sure the one this week was different than the one the week before.
Yeah, it
Because I was
included Seth
almost
Rollins this week.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
was almost going to just because I was watching it on a little bit of a delay, I was like, okay, yeah, I've seen this vignette, and I was gonna like fast forward or whatever. And then I saw him just like making fun of Seth Rollins and stuff too, and I was like, okay. And then like I thought it was really good. Um, excuse me. There, he plays that jerk so well, and
Mhm.
I think last week there was a pop for Priest too, but uh, yeah, he's full babyface to me at this point. I don't even
Yeah.
consider he's not
Hmm.
done anything heelish
No, not
at
with the
all
Judgment
in
Day
like
too.
No.
months, really.
Hmm.
Um,
Prior since he got the title, if I want
Yep.
to say, you're right. I think
yeah,
think back.
yeah, he played more of the heel against Jey Uso because that you kind of have to, but he didn't
Yeah.
want cheating still or
Yep.
Yeah.
anything, so he's he was at least the honorable heel.
Yeah.
Like so, yeah, I've been really I think in Mike on the mic he's been good. Both of them have been like I'm excited for this match for sure.
Mhm.
They've I mean this is probably the match I'm second most excited for. Um,
Second to Solo and Cody.
I can't wait for it.
yeah, no, that's last place on mine, but honestly,
Getting
it
to
is.
storm the Capitol shirt.
Yeah, the I store. Yeah, all my Cody merch looks like they'll hire me for the Secret Service for the replacements. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I keep flip flopping because they built Gunther up so much. It'd be kind of weird if like one of his I guess he did win King of the Ring, so it's not that bad, but after he lost, he wins King of the Ring and then loses again. You could have something weird happen for him to lose. I think you almost have to protect him in the loss in some
Hmm.
Mhm.
way with someone cheating or like Finn trying to screw over Damian Priest, but it ends up helping Damian Priest type of thing. But yeah, I'm almost more like I like the Punk and Drew feud, and that's the match I'm most excited for. But I feel like that's kind of cooled off a bit, and this is I'm like real like fired up
Yeah,
for
it's
this. Is
picking up.
that brawl
Yeah.
was sick, and you understand why Priest would like
Go
go and
off.
try to beat Gunther's ass, like he's being
Yeah.
a total dick, and he's like just him. Marlon and I talked about this last week. The fact that he's like talking about being superior than everyone, and he has the like speaking German too, just makes it so. It's like they're not playing that like how it used to be, where uh
The
like you'd have
stereotypical, like,
yeah stereotypical,
Yeah.
yeah,
almost like you mean Nazi guy or whatever. They
Yeah.
yeah,
used to actually have that.
Yeah.
yeah,
And then now it's like it's giving like that vibe without being totally like
Blatant.
in your face about it. It's just like,
Yeah.
yeah,
ooh, this doesn't feel right. It bothers me. Um,
Hmm.
so yeah, I they could not do a better job, I think, with building this up, in my opinion.
I feel like last week's promo was that definitely put Damien over as the baby face. This one of course fed into that in such a positive way because sometimes it diminishes like after you have such a big promo like that last week. But Damien, I see him as the people's champ right now because
hmm
like Gunther put him in as like this street rat. I kept thinking of Aladdin, right? Like,
That's such a good one.
like Gunther like referred to him pretty much calling him a street rat, saying he didn't have anything growing up and Gunther was this privileged guy who had everything given to him, and obviously his parents loved him, and Priest's parents didn't love him enough to
yeah,
provide for him. So I think a lot of people can relate to an underdog story like that. I think a lot of
yeah,
people who grew up in those shoes just saw Priest as their guy now. So whether if he was on the fence about being a face, I think last week just solidified that.
yeah. No, I agree. I agree. Like I say, I feel like everyone is safe to assume that Gunther is supposed to win, and
Oh yeah.
to talk about bringing prestige back to the title. I mean that's his thing. He did it with the Intercontinental Championship, and so we're hopeful that he can do it with the World Heavyweight Championship too as well. Maybe possibly trying to make it on par with the WWE Undisputed Championship. I don't
Mhm.
know if he has the ability to do that, but I think it's needed to make both championship equal in a sense. So I
I
don't know,
think he
man. We'll
does.
see. You think he does? You think he got it?
Yeah. I like once he wins that, just because sorry to cut you off there.
No, 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 no.
I really feel like, man, I have Gunther in the highest regard to anyone on that roster. Even like
Mm,
Cody's like as good of a pure baby face as you can have, but you need that heel guy with a championship. Uh, and I think it's when you see him, and he doesn't really cheat either. He's just a dick. So like if
yeah,
he goes through the gauntlet of beating Priest, who's now pretty reputable, even though he's like one off of weird cases, but he's beaten good
yeah,
people. You beat Seth Rollins, beat Drew McIntyre, you beat CM Punk. Like that's a. I think that
yeah,
title is as big as the other one. We're like, look who Cody's going against at freaking SummerSlam.
Mhm.
Like even if you don't
yeah.
think Damian Priest is that good, you have Damian Priest above
So,
Solo. Like
yeah.
everyone, I would say 90% do, unless like they were really impressed with Solo's like NXT work as a street champ. But I like that may be that's a very small population. I think he has. I think when Gunther does win this, and I'm fine with them delaying it to have Priest beat him the first time, but it'll
Mhm.
be as close as you could get for those two belts.
Mhm.
Cool, cool. So, if you guys agree, you guys disagree, let us know. Comment below. How do you guys feel about Gunther versus Priest at SummerSlam? Let us know. Who want to go next?
I'll go right now because I know what Wade's going to talk about, and that's going to take up a lot of our conversation because there's so much meat to that conversation. Speaking of meat, no bread, no water, just meat. I want to talk about Braun Breaker and Ilya Dragunov. Now, I originally wanted to talk about this especially after watching the match last night, and then I thought like I've already talked about Braun versus Ilya. And then I know we always talk about how Braun and Ilya shine in Monday. I'm like, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but what that tells
Hmm.
me is that these guys put on certified bangers after banger, whether they're fighting each other or not. But their last, I think this is their third time wrestling on Raw since they were called up.
Yes, I believe
Yes.
so.
Yeah.
I think two of the
Uh,
time, or I think almost every time has ended in some type of uh
Shenanigans.
Yeah,
yeah, but it like not necessarily yeah, I think so.
So I always know what I'm gonna get when I watch Ilya Dragunov and Braun Breaker. Their styles are so different. They're both strong in different ways. One of them loves pain, of course, and I just think they counter each other's moves so perfectly well, and they
yeah,
complement each other so well. And the way this match ended, again, Braun working the ribs, dropping him on the on the ring post, um,
Dude, that was
doing
sick. I've not seen that.
so good. So good. And then spearing Ilya midair, not only hitting his ribs, and then Ilya hitting his head on the mat, on the ring mat. And he could sell an injury. Remember, I don't know if you ever saw that match with Ridge Holland where he like got like a pinched nerve
Oh
or
yeah.
like and he like I really thought he was
He's
injured. I
like
was like, oh
doing
god.
this like the guy from Scary
Yeah.
Movie. Grab my strong
Yeah.
hand. Yeah.
Grab my hand. Yeah, so I just loved how this match unfolded, everything about it. I mean, he finally got the what is he calling it now? The Breakensteiner. He got that off perfectly. It's been a minute since I've seen him do that perfectly, the Frankensteiner. So I don't know what you guys thought about this match. Let me know. I love when Ilya Dragunov and Braun Breaker wrestle each other since NXT.
I'll
uh,
go.
could I go
Yeah.
away?
Yeah.
So,
So I or you could go, that's fine.
I, no, so like for me, I enjoy the match like heavily. Like man, like I feel like every time we talk about Dragunov, I say man, each week I'm liking him more and more and more. You know, the intensity is just it's hilarious. Him screaming for no reason, then him going straight rigor mortis on the ring after getting speared. You know, like but that's great. But he puts on the show. Braun Breaker puts on the show. Um, I just hope that this isn't hurting Dragunov in a way because I feel like he hasn't been able to come out on top
Right.
in these encounters with Braun Breaker. He's
Yeah.
always been left either like just battered and bruised in the middle of the ring, or he's lost. I think well he's lost twice. You know,
Mhm.
so I do want to see him finally get the one up on Braun Breaker in some time, but the matches are great. I have no complaints about the matches. Like they're amazing. Wait,
Yeah.
wait, what you got? Wait.
Yeah, I mean, on this Raw, it was really the only good match. To be honest, like I can't remember anything that happened in any other match other than when
Not even the
Lyra
last
was trying
match?
to. It was fine, I guess. Like I remember that like the baby faces won, but like the like, and I remember Lyra saying "let go of my waist," which she
Oh yeah.
like like it was so
Yeah.
loud
I heard
the
that.
mics caught it. Like that's like I can't remember like particular things, but I remember this match. Was like, man, they kicked ass. This is
Yeah.
probably their best one, I think, and they've had some good
Mhm.
matches on Raw. I'm sure they had some on NXT that might have been better, but I think this is Braun Breaker's just best match on the main roster.
Yep.
Um, because his match with Sammy was not great.
Mm-mm.
It's pretty milk toast. Um,
Do you think it'd be better at SummerSlam?
yeah, they could have done so much more, in my opinion. That was a pretty weak match, and I think they're showing, in my opinion, with these matches with him and Dragunov in particular, that he actually has like pretty good strategy if he's wrestled someone before.
Mhm.
And they're
Hmm.
showing that with both of them. Uh,
Yep.
because there's a lot of like counters. Oh, I know your finisher, so I could do this or your signature move, and
Mhm.
like as Dragunov was like jumping off to do the H bomb, I was like, oh, he's about to get speared through his freaking
Yeah.
like fatality right here. He did, but um, I don't think you have to worry about Dragunov losing and it hurting
Okay.
him because he's had some good wins because he beat Ricochet, even though that's not like, but Ricochet's respected.
He beat
And
Shinsuke.
yeah, I don't count that one. We'll skip that. But yeah, he did beat Shinsuke though. Yeah, that was Shinsuke has not wrestled a match since then. Now that we think about it, he's on SmackDown now. Has he wrestled?
Not that I know of. That I can remember.
Maybe on
No.
Speed or something.
I don't count that. If it, like on TV, like not speed don't count.
No, I
Um,
don't remember.
he must have one, but yeah, either way. But on NXT, it took him a long time to be champion, and he does like a
Okay.
good job as like the baby face. And to me, I feel like each week, for the most part, sometimes there's bad crowds or like weird crowds, and it's just not going to be loud. But the crowd is like getting into him more and more. Like it's getting louder and louder for him. And even Braun Breaker's over right now, even though he's a heel. But people were
Mhm.
getting
Hmm.
into Dragunov, in my opinion. They were like, and that's like a hard being like an up and coming babyface against someone like Braun Breaker, who's just like a super hot heel that's
Yeah.
really cool. It's hard to get the crowd to be into that where they're basically cheering for both of you guys.
Mhm.
So the fact that he's getting more crowd response, I don't think you have to be worried about it. He's featured every single week.
Yep.
So you could tell they care about him. And like losing to Braun Breaker or Sammy. Well, technically he beat Sammy because Braun Breaker
Hmm.
speared him
DQ.
Yeah.
DQ. So ipso facto, he beat Sammy. So uh, Yeah, I don't think we have to worry about that at all, in my opinion. Maybe I'll be wrong, but I've seen it happen in NXT where like he was having he was in a weird feud with like Dijak, like completely away from the belt for a while, and he's just getting tortured by him and stuff in a like weird
So good.
lair. I don't yeah, it was just like
So good.
Dijak can't like torture him any like he's like enjoying the torture and it's like breaking Dijak torturing him. So there's he got over on NXT to where Mello was a babyface and super over, and then Marlon and I were at
No
um
mercy.
No Mercy. That was probably what 9 months after the Dijak feud.
Yep.
And it was like
Yep.
50-50 for him, and he was not and Mello was a babyface at the time and super over. So he could
Okay.
do it for sure.
Yep.
Because it's just you're
Yep.
seeing him get closer and closer. He's like the epitome of what like a babyface should be like. They're gonna
Hmm.
struggle, but you're gonna see him improve and keep fighting, and he has like the fighting spirit. I think. Uh, I can't think of like because he's a weird babyface though, because he's kind of psychotic. But like I can't really think of another one. Like Cody's obviously the best, but other than Cody, who's like a babyface that we're watching and kind of rooting for coming up the ranks. He's the only one I can really think of
Yeah.
because
Okay.
LA Knight is a babyface and we're kind of doing that, but he's also kind of a dickhead. So it's
Yep.
like a little bit like he's making jokes about people's moms and stuff. Like it's not like he's super like
Clean.
he's like
Yeah.
a in betweener, but I can't really Sammy, but I want Sammy to
Sammy.
lose. Yeah,
Hmm.
so I don't.
I ain't cheering for him.
Yeah, I'm kind of over it. He keeps going against people I like, so I'm kind of like over that. But um, yeah, I don't know. I think we're in for a treat with him. Um,
Yeah. This probably won't be the last time we talk about him either. I mean, like, I hope that him and Braun Breaker have just a long-standing rivalry, kind of like a Cena Orton type of situation, or I
except
don't
way
know,
better.
except way
Except
better.
way
Yeah,
better matches. I mean, they had some
yeah,
good ones, but they had some real boring ones too.
yeah. So I just hope it tends to be that kind of rivalry. That'd be sweet. All right, wait, what do you got?
Okay, so I wanted to talk about Zoe Stark and her group. I'm just kidding. I want to talk about Rhea and Liv Morgan. Um,
Surprise, surprise.
well, no, it's like the main storyline of Raw. I feel
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
as a man of the people, we have to, talk about this. And
Men of culture.
yeah, I'm kind of, I seen like some people complain about stuff, whatever. They're always going to complain and they're like, bring up stuff about I don't know, Vince McMahon stuff, and I'm not ever
The
gonna.
lawsuit.
Yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
just gonna like focus on the story, and I like the story. I don't care if
Know
they're.
exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't. Um, yeah, and it's people I like who do it, but yeah, it's just like let's focus on the story. And I think the story is good. I thought it was an interesting twist. If
Hmm.
I mean, I feel like Dominic's a babyface now turning on Liv while Liv has those jean shorts up there with her booty out. He's a stronger man than me. There's no way I'm gonna tell any girl I hate her that does like that turnaround and then you see that donk like you mean spinning around. I'll be like I guess you have mommy next to you, but still like I'd be like, yeah, you just leave me alone. I wouldn't tell her I hate her. Like I mean kind of playing my cards a little bit more to the chest. Uh so yeah, I feel like now we have babyface Dominic. He should not be booed in any stadium now. Being able to say no to Liv Morgan. Uh, that was like
Talk
one of the
about
most.
resilience.
Yeah, that is resilience. Now, I I feel like he's turning on mommy for sure. Like he
Yeah.
has to. Although if mommy licked my face, I may be on her side for a little bit longer, even though she's mean to me. So, uh, I've been in slightly abusive relationships where I've been controlled before, so I could see myself in Dom's shoes there. Obviously, the girl was not didn't look like Rhea that hot, but yeah, it's just I think we could relate to him. Like someone that looks like mommy that is like kind of controlling you. She's
Yeah.
done a lot of positive things for you, but she's the baby face, but she is treating him terribly, in my opinion. Um he has not done many things wrong in this whole situation. He's just walking around and then Liv Morgan appears and then like people are ratting him out that like, oh, he was talking to Liv, and it's like, can one of you guys watch the show back and see that he's like, oh, he just got done taking a dump and then she pops out of a trash can and like talks to him and then he's getting in trouble for it. So yeah, I feel like Dom might even be a bigger babyface than Ilya right now. Like you got to feel for the guy. So yeah, I like this twist. I don't know what they're gonna do at SummerSlam. I think Liv should
Mhm.
be. I thought her crying was good too. Uh,
Yeah.
and I was impressed. I thought they were gonna do because WWE does kind of stuff like this where they signpost things, and I thought she was gonna be crying, and then when she walks out, like smiles or whatever, like
Yeah. That's
Right.
what I was
I
looking forward to
thought they
too.
were gonna do that and
Yeah.
they didn't. So now she could be in cahoots with Dominic or something.
Yeah.
She could actually be in love with Dominic, which is a strange thing. Or like, yeah, there's just like a lot of different ways they could go with this, and I don't know exactly what they're gonna do, which I like because even in a time where I can predict the things, like I kept waiting for her to come out in that last match, and that's why I was like disappointed in the last match. I'm like, oh, Liv didn't come out to like
Yeah.
fall on
Hmm.
Dom's dong again. So like I was like, oh, this match sucks. How can you have a Judgment Day match without Liv getting involved? So yeah, she's been the highlight of their matches, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So having her like out of there, I'm like, oh, yeah, it was all right, I guess. Um, so yeah, I'm into it. I liked the kind of twist. You could see like how Dom is getting kind of he's getting manipulated by I don't know. I think Rhea's using him now. Maybe she does appreciate him, but I think she is using him just to
Hmm.
like control him for her own benefit. But she is the baby face, even though what she's doing to Dom is heel. So I don't know. I think it's pretty interesting.
I hope we get a vignette where like if Dom turns, that we get a vignette of like all the things that Rhea did to treat Dom like so poorly. Because she's always like commanding him, telling him like, go get the belt back, or trying to put orders on him. I hope that be like someone does like a little montage of all those things where it was like, yeah, I guess Rhea really was the douche in the relationship.
Or you see her lick Jey Uso's face in the background.
Oh,
I'm cool with Jay being involved in this actually.
yeah.
I know you
Yeah.
guys are making a joke saying I would like internally combust if she ended up with Jey Uso, but I don't know. I think he's funny with the whole situation, and I'm weirdly more into Jey Uso somehow being involved with Rhea Ripley than I would have
Right.
expected. So,
Yeah. We want that Waffle House brawl. That's why. That's what we want.
oh yeah, we need it. I need to inject that into my veins.
Yeah, Waffle House revenue will go up.
What do you guys think?
Um, no, man. Like I say, this has been a really captivating like storyline. It pulls you in. I wasn't expecting the turnaround with Liv Morgan. The turnaround with Liv Morgan, and then the lick of the face. Like, what is going on right now? This feels like the Attitude Era almost.
Yeah.
Like a sample of it. I'm like, what? And it's like, man,
Hmm.
Dominic Mysterio is like the luckiest dude in the world right now. In professional wrestling. Was his storyline mode. Um, I feel like Dominic will be turning on Rhea Ripley. Maybe not at SummerSlam. I think you will see the start of it at SummerSlam, to where he does something stupid like slide a chair in the ring, and
Right.
then Rhea gets disqualified or something like that. And then we see the full turn, possibly at Bad Blood or something that way. But
Yeah.
that's kind of my thoughts on it. Is that happening? Because I know you mentioned about Rhea been treating him like trash. That was I feel like pre babyface Rhea.
Mm-hmm.
This current Rhea, when she came back, she seemed like she's been hurt. She's been angry because she's been hurt, and
Yeah.
she doesn't want to hear anything. Like she's like a woman scorned, because if you look at it, it seems like Rhea kind of did have some feelings for Dom, you know, and what she's been doing with Liv is betrayal in a sense to that, and so she wants revenge for that, and she wanted Don to set Liv Morgan straight. Usually, it would be like the girl being mad at the other girl, but not really being mad at the dude. The
Mm-hmm.
dude, she kind of just sits back and like, but the dude is always the dude's fault, in all reality. But um, kind of standing up to Liv Morgan made Rhea feel like, all right, you're on my side, and it could be all just a trick, which we'll have to say, but we'll find out at like SummerSlam, and the cards will be revealed, as time go on. But I don't know, I'm liking it. It's entertaining. I mean, what more can you really ask for? Like I think it's dope.
Yeah.
What you got, Marlon?
We don't know what Dom and Liv have done behind closed doors. We don't know what Finn and Liv
Stretching.
have done.
Bucks and stretching.
Stretching. We don't know what Liv and Finn have done behind closed doors if they are conspiring. So I just love how you mentioned, Wade, like the booking can go in so many directions.
Yeah.
And we don't know if like Rhea has, malicious intent either. So that's
Mm-hmm.
what I love about this. Um, I love
Yeah.
Dom like using Spanglish or like cutting in and out of his like Spanish when he was like telling off Liv. In my head, I was like, dude, she doesn't understand. But maybe she does. I don't
She
know.
lives in
But
Florida. She might understand.
yeah, so yeah, I love that part when he was going in and out of Spanish on the rant, and you see like Rhea's smile getting bigger and bigger. I thought that was really cool. But who knows where this is gonna go?
How did you feel about the lick? That's what we really wanted to know.
I had to show restraint. I had to show restraint.
Was your wife in the
Um,
room when you were watching that?
she was around. She was around, so I had to be a little dignified. So yeah.
You're like, God damn.
Yeah. After that story, because like she obviously comes in and out when I watch wrestling. So after that scene, I had to explain to her the whole situation so that she'll kind of understand what's going on and what I'm watching. Just to be like, all right, this is the storyline. It's crazy. It's better than Game of Thrones, whatever. So
Then she told you to
yeah.
stop filming the podcast
Yeah.
immediately.
Sell your tickets. You're not allowed to go anymore.
You're not going to WrestleMania next year,
Go
you
to
perv.
WrestleMania. It's a
Oh man.
story. Anyway. Oh, dude, I did see somebody in the comments say Dom's wife fighting in the group chat right now. I was like, dude, they're like Dom's wife is an all-star or something like that. It's crazy. Wife of the year.
Gosh, can you imagine? You're like,
Bro.
oh, I married this guy with a trashy mullet. And then it's like, in his job, he's like kissing like the two hottest girls like on the roster. Like two of the most like attractive girls like in the United States. It's like, all right. Oh yeah, for his role, he has to first of all, he has to have a mullet for this role and this dirty mustache.
Mustache.
And
Yeah.
then like so she has to deal with him at home looking like that. And then he's just like being like a freaking baller in his job with those girls like licking him and stretching him and stuff. It's so ridiculous.
Or imagine if you're like Ray Mysterio and his wife's like parents. You're like, hey, I saw your son on TV. Who are those girls that he's with? Like knowing that you just like went to their wedding like a couple of months ago. Like, who
Well,
are those
their whole
girls that are all over
family's
him?
like in the business, so like of all things, they're probably fine with it. But like her parents, that's
Right.
gotta be
Right, exactly.
yeah.
like some
Yeah, that would
ancillary
be
people who aren't really close. They're just like, oh, I thought I saw your son on TV, but he was with another woman.
yeah.
Two of them.
Two of them.
Two of the hottest
Both
girls
of
are fighting over your son.
Yeah, dude.
So
So funny.
Oh man. So man, if you guys are enjoying the Liv Dom Rhea love triangle, let us know. Comment below. We're gonna get into a temple of theories, right? Real quick. What you got,
Wait,
Marlon?
are we doing a 3 count?
Yeah, we still do that. This because you say your tempo is short, right?
Yeah, let me go get my hat real quick. Be right back.
man, if I
What
could
you
be a
think you got?
fly on the wall while Marlon was watching that, his wife coming in and out, I would have been dying.
She probably comes in all like the salacious parts.
The worst
Like
parts, yeah. That's how it always happens.
now
Like,
when it's Brian Breaker and Dragunov going crazy in the ring, having an actual like 5-star match is when Liv Morgan turn around and they
yeah.
zoom in on her butt.
I had my roommate walk in a scene during the show The Boys, and it was the most ridiculous, dirty scene ever. My roommate was like, "What the hell are you watching?" And I felt so uncomfortable. I'm like, "Huh, let me explain these guys' superpower like thing," but he just like really disgusted in me. You ready, Marlon, with your tinfoil
Yeah,
bonnet?
let's do it. It's my tinfoil Edgar haircut. Um, all right. So, man, I was thinking about this. You know, Pierre, you kind of affirmed my my theory of this when you were like, when WWE thinks that they're gonna go one way, and they think that we know that they're gonna go this way, they'll like swerve us. And I think that when Roman comes back, he's not going to be the babyface that people idealize. I feel like he's still going to. I feel like when Roman comes back, he's still going to be heel. Um, I have my reasons, like, and again, there's probably so many holes in this argument, but the WWE made so much money and so much story by him being just like the biggest jackass or the biggest like jerk and tyrant to his family and to his opponents. And I feel like if the WWE crowd thinks that he's going to come back as a heel, as a babyface to save the world, to save Cody, to save the bloodline, I feel like there's just going to be a way that they're going to make us hate him again. And for him to be a douche, or at most, like an anti hero that leans more so on the bad side. So that's my tinfoil theory.
So more like a Stone Cold kind of s character.
Stone Cold after the invasion when he like saved WWE and then turned, that type of situation. And then he went like he was with who did he team up with? He was like on Vince McMahon's side, right? Or on the Alliance side. So he was on the Alliance side. So yeah, I think it'll be something like that.
Hmm.
So where he comes back, we're like, oh my God, he's here. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then like maybe a week or two down the line, he'll be a jackass again.
Hmm.
So maybe something like he comes back um to address the bloodline, maybe to save Cody, but
Mhm.
still ends up spearing Cody because you took the title from him at WrestleMania
Right,
and speared Solo too as
right,
well. So you don't know he's just out he just rolled.
right.
He's coming back. What was the shirt that he had before?
Oh, wreck everything and
Wreck and
leave.
leave.
Wreck
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything in
yeah,
league.
Wreck
Yep,
everything and leave. You
yep,
know that.
yep. So that's it. My tinfoil theory: Roman Reigns comes back, stays heel.
Yeah. I completely disagree with that, but that's a good theory. Um,
If you
yeah, I don't.
guys
Yeah,
agree with that, let us know. If you guys disagree, let us know. Wade definitely disagrees. He's turning red right now. That's how much he
yeah.
disagrees. He doesn't
I was
even have
like,
to give a response.
I
I
was
can
doing a
tell by his face
Dragunov
that he
face
disagrees.
over there, listening to him do that.
I can see all the veins popping out of Wade's neck by just hearing the disagreement. Marlon's tenfold theory. But no, man, you guys let us know what you guys think. We can get into 3 count real quick.
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool, cool. I think you got AEW. You want to do that first, Wade?
Yeah. Um. Yeah. So I wanted to talk about the MJF Will Ospreay match that was
Mm.
last week that um went an hour long on TV. And I'll be honest, like I kept for the first like 20, 25 minutes, I was like expecting, you mean MJF to like do something to win or whatever, like cheat. And then after they pass like 25 minutes, I'm like, oh shoot, they're going an hour and there's gonna be like a time limit draw. And they somehow found a way to like end it with like 2 seconds left, like timed it like perfectly where MJF won with 2 seconds left. But for me, I thought it was by far the best TV match of the year. Um, they did a really good job of telling like a story in the match. This is like MJF is I think he's the best like all around wrestler because on the mic everything, and he could wrestle even though his like persona is like I'm gonna be the late like do as little as I need to do to win. Um, he could wrestle a match with Will Ospreay where they're like flipping around and doing all this stuff, and it's yeah, it was pretty crazy. The sequences and yeah, I love the match. I thought obviously there's I had a friend, he may watch this podcast. He messaged me because he listened to this podcast and he's like, not this podcast, but he was listening to a podcast Marlon and I also listened to it. He's like, how the heck could any of those guys not like that match? It's like the best match ever. And um yeah, I'm just it's an hour long, so that's how. Because
Right.
it's not for
Right.
everyone. Um WWE speed would not exist if there wasn't everyone. You know what I mean? If people only liked long matches. Um, but I would say I like if you like wrestling, you should give this match a
Watch that.
chance. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's like I didn't I've watched long matches that I felt really long. This I did not. I kept being like, what are they gonna do? And just
Mhm.
um Osprey selling was great. He was getting like just wrecked by MJF doing cheap shots and just targeting his arms and stuff. And they had, like a ref pretend to like pop his shoulder back into place at one point. It was just yeah, it was a pretty crazy match and pulling off the like in real life because sometimes they'll be like, oh, it was 2 seconds left, but it wasn't actually 2 seconds left. But they, you mean in kayfabe, they're like, oh, that's what happened.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But apparently it was actually 1 second left in real life. Not even
Wow.
two, but they were able to time it exactly. Uh,
That's pretty good. That's pretty
it,
impressive.
when you're that like, there's no way.
Yeah.
I've like, and now that I'm like doing, I wrestled a match now in practice, and it was like 7 minutes, and I was exhausted at the end of it. And I'm imagining I did zero athleticism that these guys did for like the pacing is crazy for an hour match. That's why I didn't initially didn't think it was going to go an hour because they were going so hard. I'm like, all right, this will you need 15, 20 minutes or something. But because I'm like, there's no way you could go this balls to the wall for an hour.
Mhm.
And they went nuts. So yeah, if you have not seen this match, um, I please you should watch it. There's two things you should watch from AEW in the last month. It's that match and the Mariah May heel turn on Tony Storm. But yeah, that MJF match. Even if you're like iffy on long matches, or you're like, oh, I don't like Will Ospreay flipping around so much. Like it is a really well done match. By two of the best wrestlers in the world with very different styles, and they had amazing chemistry. So yeah, and I know you guys had watched some clips, right, of
Yeah.
it, but Yeah, when Marlon, you're like, oh, I saw a sequence, or like you texted, you're like, oh, I saw a sequence that looks sick. I'm like, dog, it's like an hour. Like there's like 500 sequences in that match, but like a Monday Night Raw squash, like a sequence. But yeah, like
Yeah.
I've watched a lot of matches on Raw that are 15 minutes that I've been like, I feel like if they felt like an hour, and then this is an hour, and it felt, you mean, pretty fast. So. But from what you guys saw of a sequence or sequences, what do you guys think?
Go ahead, Mark.
I loved it. There are times where I wish I had like AEW like in my house. Like I don't have any way to watch it. Um, like other than on social media because I don't have. Wait a second.
I'll give you
I'll
my
think about that
Sling
later.
password. I'll give you my
Yeah, let's
Sling
do it.
password. Yeah, I'll give you my Sling.
Sure. Yeah, I'll watch more. I'll watch more AEW, but I feel like MJF and Will Ospreay are two of the best in the business right now. Top 10 easily for me. Um, so what I saw was an attempt, God, if I can remember, like an attempted hidden blade at one point after MJF, like,
Oh yeah,
yeah, that was a sequence that I
he's
watched,
like
and then
watching the
like,
screen too, and sees him coming through the screen, like because he's
yes,
paying attention
yes,
to
because
the screen. Yeah,
he's facing the entrance way. Yeah.
yeah.
So, but I loved what I saw, and I wish I could have watched it. First of all, anything to watch an hour these days is hard. Um, and an Iron Man match usually isn't easy to watch in wrestling because, if you remember the super kick behind Pierre over there, like that match was like the first Iron Man match I ever watched. And watching it now is pretty tough. Like I've tried taking it in chunks. That's the only way I could get through it. But I imagine, I mean, that was still a hell of a match, the WrestleMania 12 one, but like I imagine that an MJF and Osprey one would just be so heated um, and well paced because of the type of athleticism they're doing for today's wrestling standards. So kudos for them to get to do that. But I will say the highlight for me was when Osprey told that little girl to beat
That's
MJF's ass.
Oh yeah.
And then MJF realizing what's happening, like flips her off as she's like
Yeah.
walking away from her. The desperation in flipping that bird by MJF had me sold, dude. I was like,
Like
this
8 year old
dude,
girl, like
little 8-year-old gold, and then him realizing what just happened. He's like, oh, wait a minute.
yeah.
Like, I thought that was solid, solid. What about you, Pierre?
No, that was one of the things I did see was that little girl going crazy on MJF. So I thought, man, like, oh man. At first I thought, who's letting the kid just run wild like this? And then like I actually watched it back and I heard like the like volume. And I think I heard like the little girl's dad or someone was like egging her on to do it.
Get him,
So
yeah.
just the fact that like this girl had like this moment in the match of this importance or significance, like with these two like superstars of mega stars in like in wrestling for them is incredible. Like, and I think that's great like fan interaction per se. Like I don't know if you necessarily get that from WWE.
Mm,
You might get maybe a wrestler taking another guy's drink and a fan's drink and then throwing on his opponent. You know, but to actually have a fan be part of the match, like a little girl or a kid a part of the match, like that's super cool to me. Like I didn't get a chance to really see too many other highlights besides that, but that was like, oh man, like this is so cool. I wish I was there to be even a part of that. Like so, like I say, just for them just to involve the crowd like that, it's hard for me to believe that AEW they're not doing the numbers that they should be doing, or the numbers that they're doing
right,
worse.
right.
Like the highlights from the matches that I do see, or even like the lineup of stuff I see, like the Team Elite versus Team AEW, like the people in there. Like, of course, that hasn't happened yet, but I'm like, this could be a hit. Like Britt Baker coming back and challenging Mercedes Moné, like eventually, like that's gonna be cool. The whole thing with Mariah May and Tony Storm, like these things are cool things that stand out to me. Uh, and it seems that AEW has a lot of different cool things that stand out, and maybe not on the same level as WWE, but I think AEW might have more things that are cool that stand out to me. I just don't have enough time to watch like I want to.
Yeah, I
So
would.
yeah.
The yeah, I guess I have one like. Do you guys think that not? And when I say this, I don't mean like weekly, but like, do you think they more companies should have like on regular TV long matches? Because I know you were talking about the numbers and stuff. That match, and this is like it's two of the best wrestlers like wrestling for an hour. I know you're
Mhm.
talking about like their numbers. Generally like a show starts off really high and then there's like a big drop off or whatever, and like there's a ratings wise it stayed pretty flat like that whole match, which is super impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know, do you think this is something maybe more because I know Triple H has tried it when he was doing NXT and stuff. And like I know they did it one time on Raw, but I think they just did it to like waste time.
Mhm.
Like they had like an hour and a half match or something just to say they had one. But do you think this is something, I mean, that shouldn't be so rare on TV? Like, I mean, maybe once every 6 months, like a company will do it.
I think that'd be cool, especially if like I think I can watch Braun Breaker and Dragon off for like an
Oh
hour.
yeah,
You know,
they might actually
yeah,
die
If they don't, I
by
was
the
gonna
end
say
of
if they
it.
don't kill each other
I don't
somehow,
know if
some way,
that, but yeah,
or
that'd be
kill
sick.
themselves. Yeah.
I like
yeah,
those dudes take such crazy bumps. I don't know if that's like physically. He's
yeah. I think it
like,
all kind of just depends on the people that you have in the ring going at it. You know,
Yeah.
so if you have two great caliber wrestlers going head to head, like who wouldn't want to see that? You know, like I think we saw a long match before between Ricochet and JD Madonna, and I think that was like 30 minutes. You know, not an hour,
I
but
think it
still longer
was,
than
yeah. That was a good match.
a lot longer than yeah. You know, so I think it all depends on if you got two people that can go, let them go. You know, and let them show off. You know,
Mhm.
so I'll be down for for that.
Yeah. I definitely watch a Gunther and Finn Balor hour-long match.
That'd be sick.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a long match is good every once in a while, you know? It's like long
Mm,
form podcasting and like short podcasting. I think it's good.
yeah, I'm here for it. Uh, what were you doing for your three count, Marlon? I thought it was the Creeds, but it's
Yep.
not the Creeds.
Yeah, it's the
Okay.
Creeds. Uh, Man, I feel like this is probably one of the bigger fumbles of the year as far as booking goes. With the Creeds joining Chad Gable. The anticipation and the thought of it was great to me. Because Chad Gable needed new muscle, needed a new crew, new posse, and the Creeds weren't being utilized at the time. You know, they got some
Hmm.
major shine when they first got promoted up to main roster, and I feel like they haven't been able to do anything much. Part of me thinks it's because of how they were executing their finisher. I think Damian Priest got super pissed one time, you know, because
Oh, he
he kind of
landed on
botched
his
it.
face. Yeah.
Yeah, landed on his face. And so I feel like ever since that moment, like they were kind of taken out of the spotlight. And I was like, if the Creeds join Chad Gable, it would be the perfect fit. But the way they've been presented has been so bad. First, I can't take Brutus seriously because he's doing these like taste testing things with like fast food. So like, you know, that's
Oh, I
cool.
know.
It's a side
I
gig.
haven't
It's his
even seen
hobby.
that.
Yeah, he like compares
Yeah.
like Burger King's fries versus Arby's fries versus McDonald's fries. Or he'll eat like the giant Cheez-It that Taco Bell just released. Like, so he does this thing, which is cool. It's a side hustle, you know, of course, while probably he's not being utilized or whatever. If a hobby's a hobby, that's fine. But the way they came out with suits and then they
Yeah.
got beat up on their first time out, like they haven't even had a chance to be menacing. They haven't had a chance for us to embrace their comeuppance of when they got their asses beat from being jerks. They haven't even had a chance to be jerks. So it's like don't come out in suits. You guys are jocks.
Yeah.
Come out in some gentleman, from a Guy Ritchie film. Give me like an Adidas tracksuit or a velour suit that you've worn before plenty of times, right?
Yeah.
Like, let's get the chains going. Let's get the tracksuits going. Be the thugs, the sophisticated thugs, not like these mafiosos who haven't even had a chance to show any type of badness in the
Yeah.
wrestling world yet. So we all remember them as baby faces. They haven't
Yeah.
had a chance to be heels. So, and then you fail on your first outing, like you get your asses whooped. I mean, come on. I can't take it seriously. What do you guys think?
Go ahead, go wait.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like it. I think velour suit for sure is tracksuit is what they need,
Mm-hmm.
or just being like briefs and no shirt, just walking around jacked. Like Julia should just be like, or spandex shorts and just be like awkward, like how they had Braun Breaker walking backstage just with no shirt on to the when they showed him entering the venue and he's just not wearing a shirt. You're like, what kind of douche is that? Like that just shows up to work with no shirt on.
Yeah,
Um,
with a chain or something. That'd be
yeah,
cool.
so just something like that. And they're supposed to be ass kickers. I don't like, and I know it's like a part of the aesthetic, but if I like, dude, dress shoes are so slippery,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
trying to be like suplexing people and stuff and wearing dress shoes, like that sounds terrible.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, there's, you don't,
Like you
you
asked
see
about
him
injury.
slipping around all the time, and it makes it look less menacing. Like, let him wear like wrestling shoes. If you're gonna have him wear the suits, let him wear like some Air Forces or something. Like, people who wear suits
Mm.
wear that now. Like, that's like an
Yeah.
accepted thing. I don't know why they decide to wear dress shoes still. Like, because when you go into office places, if people are wearing suits, generally, I'd say 50% of the time they're not wearing dress
Yeah.
shoes.
Yeah, that's true. Something like
Yeah.
sneakers or something like that.
They
Yeah, they're
have like
wearing
the hybrid.
sneakers.
They got like the dress top with the rubber sole on the
Yeah,
bottom.
something like
Yeah.
that. But like, they're just
Yeah.
wearing loafers and try to
Yeah.
do belly to belly suplexes, and I'm like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, it's the whole Wyatt Six thing. They got
Mm-hmm.
sucked into that
Yeah.
vortex right as they turned heel, and it like, and the Wyatt
I
Six
think that's
like
what's messing it
almost
up.
killed people, and they're
Right.
like still not even. I'm like, Chad Gable wanting to fight the Wyatt Six. I'm like, I mean, he's kind of justified, and like in my opinion too. I think the other issue is, okay, he was kind of a dick to Tozawa and Otis. Okay, like, and mean to them. But if I saw someone that was kind of mean to me, looks like he got shot in the head, like, I'd be like, okay, that's worse than him being mean to me and slapping me in the face. You know, like, so I don't
Mm-hmm.
even think he's completely a heel for
Yeah.
that, and like he's justified in being annoyed they didn't have his back when like he's been other than Max, but like he's been with Otis for like years, and then Otis like it's bad for like 2 months or whatever, and Otis is just like, nah, like you're on your own, dude. I'm just gonna let these spooky people kill you. What the hell? Like I don't think
Right.
that's a babyface thing. Like I think Otis should be beat up.
Yeah.
I was
He's the
pissed
true
he didn't
heel.
get suplexed.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
There
was
was a
pumped. Oh man, I wanted them to beat his ass so bad in that.
there was a part of me where I wanted the Creeds to come out on top and just whoop all their asses. There was a part of me.
Just Julius belly to belly Otis, that
Sick.
would have been sick. Like in Otis's home
Sick.
state where he was over. That's
Yeah.
what you're
Yep.
supposed to do, not have the Wyatt Six like freaking Uncle Howdy do one Sister Abigail and that's it.
Right.
Because the Creeds didn't even get beat up, right?
No,
It was
Otis
just
Otis clothesline both of them. They had him in the
yeah,
corner
but
and
then they beat him up too, though.
did
Because
they?
they had Otis
I can't
down, and
remember.
then that's
Yeah,
when
oh,
they
yeah, he was about to grab Chad Gable and then he can't be handled and knock him down.
yeah, and they were about to beat his
Yeah.
ass, and then
Yeah. And the
that's when
White
the
Six,
Wyatt.
yeah.
So like I don't
Yeah.
yeah, I don't have an issue with him like hitting a close like because there's going to be a back and forth thing, and it was
Yeah.
inevitable that they were going to beat his ass, but it's not like the Wyatts didn't do anything to the
Yeah.
Creeds. So
No,
yeah,
like my
Yeah.
idea of what it feelings about it is like I think we've been talking about the Creeds joining Chad Gable for like
bro,
2 or 3 months,
Yep.
for a
months.
minute now, you know?
Months.
And so we feel like it's long overdue. And then we even mentioned they should have joined him doing the semi feud. You know, that
Yeah,
felt like the perfect opportunity for them to
Oh
join.
yeah. Yep.
And so like to see them back, like I say, out with suits on, I had a problem with Bruce's suit more so than Jules' suit. But
Like the style
suit,
of it.
regardless, yeah, I didn't like the style. It was too blue.
he's
I
so
hate the style.
thick it just looks weird.
Yeah. He just looked right in the suit.
Yeah.
So that was my problem. And then like he didn't have like the facial expression. Like he still like he looked like he's doing the IG stuff, you know,
Yeah.
reviewing like food still.
Yeah.
So it still
Couldn't
looking
take it
silly.
seriously.
And so like that, I rather would have liked to seen them, Chad Gable fighting Sami Zayn and them coming out
Hmm.
to cheat for that. You know, that's for like the real like heel turn. You know, like they do feel like they're helping out a guy that they knew they would deal with that's just dealing with some spooky stuff. They got like fatality in the back, you know. It's like, oh, we
Hmm.
got your back, you know. So it's not really heelish in a sense, like you were saying, way like
Yeah.
he kind of just wants revenge because, like, dude, you guys left me with a hole in my head in the back,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And I would have rather them see. Well, if we go into the angle, new Alpha Academy versus old Alpha Academy,
Yep.
then it should just kind of be that, right?
Yep.
And not now we putting the Y6 into that, which I'm gonna get to more in my 3 count. But now what does it go from there? Like you form a new faction, and now they're gonna go against the more dominant faction, the
Right.
more popular faction,
Right.
right off the bat. Like you have to get killed out. You're gonna get snuffed. And so now it's like, what's the point? You know, like you're not helping Chad Gable accomplish a championship goal, which what we all have been wanting for Chad Gable. Like,
Yep.
if he was going to win the Intercontinental Championship, this would have been settled. We would have been fine with Money in the Bank, you know, or something like that. Some type of vertical ascension to holding a title. And we're not getting it. We get him tossed back into like a storyline. And if you guys are cool, I want to go into my point off of
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
because we go into the storyline of the Y6 where now the direction seems to go from like spooky, and then you introduce Chad Gable into it, who's kind of been silly the other week about it, like, oh, I know who I solved the mystery. Bo Dallas and Uncle Hardy. I've been telling everybody. That's how you guys know. And it's like, no, I don't want silly. I want my spookiness to be serious. That's what I want it to be. Like, I don't want comic relief in my spooky. Like, give me straight horror. And whatever this is, I wanted it to be serious to the full extent. And so I don't know how we get that now with the Creeds and Chad Gable comedy show, you know,
Hmm.
in a sense. And they still got to deal with Alpha Academy because you know Tozawa and Otis are going to want some type of revenge about what happened Monday. And so then now does the Wyatts come out and interfere in that help out Tozawa and Otis? And I don't know, man. Like I think they said I feel like they dropped the ball with the Creeds, like you guys said, and they should have been tougher. They should have been more serious. And now I'm kind of like unsure about what they're doing with the Y6. Like I
Hmm.
love so much what they did with Aaron Warren's, like his vignette. You
Hmm.
know, his interviews was phenomenal. Like I always felt like, all right, we could have kicked it off with Bo Dallas or whatever, but we could have ended it with Aaron Rowan as far as like, the vignettes, and we could have had everybody in between. That would have been the sandwich. Everybody's
Right.
in between. We had the I don't know you want to call it tape or just random vignette of Nikki Cross, but I don't like that
What the hell was
we
that?
acknowledge something.
Yeah. I didn't get
Yeah,
anything out of that. I learned nothing about her or her character or intent with that.
exactly. So like some things are implied and assumed. Like, all right, we know Ed Rowan is a part of the Y6. How do we know that? Just because he's on the tape? Do we know he's the bunny because he's just been the bunny from beforehand? You know, had the mask, you know, beforehand. And when he did his interview or whatever, they were like, oh. that was real disturbing. But we see the trauma and hurt that
Yeah.
everyone went through. That was kind of what they were said on TV, and it's like, no, dude, he's part of the YS6. Why can't we acknowledge that he's part of this? And each week we get some type of reference to Nikki Cross's character, where it's some Carrie like thing or some witch like being, and it's like she doesn't have a name now. Like you guys don't
Right.
know that Nikki Cross, but we know that it's Bo Dallas and this is Aaron. Like,
Right.
I
Who's
don't
this
know. It
person?
just feels like, yeah. So it seems like some things are left up to interpretations, while other things are made clear, and I don't know the rhyme or reason behind that yet. And
I-
like I say, I don't want silliness into it, and I'm not sure if we're gonna get like a split personality thing with some characters. Because it
That's
seems
what
like
I
that's what we
think
got with both
that's what
Dallas.
I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah, but I want to see. Like I said, I was looking forward to the Nikki Cross sit down,
Me too.
the
Yeah.
Nikki Cross 2020 with Barbara Ross's sit down, and I didn't
Right.
get that, and I got this spookiness again, and it's like I don't know what we're doing now,
Right.
So I don't know. I don't want to ramble too much. I know we still got so we got to get into I know hate debate and other stuff, but what did you guys think?
So yeah, I had a lot of issues with the Nikki Cross thing because it just was useless, in my opinion. I
Right.
think when the story is focused on psychological terror and um the psychological trauma that these people have, that's where the
That's dope.
story is
That part.
that's where it's
Yeah,
really good, and I'm like cool with them being seeing that other side of Uncle Howdy, where Bo Dallas like shows up. I'm like complete all of that. I'm completely cool with. I get having split personality, uh, but it was like, oh, we made two good stories, and then
We got nothing.
shoot, yeah, let's
yeah,
make her like the ring girl again.
Yeah.
And it's
yeah.
like, well, what? Like, I didn't even. She's done the same shit the whole time, so I didn't like that at all. I hated it actually. I thought this was. Um, I'm fine with the Creed. I'm fine with the Chad Gable like being this stupid like Kurt Angle like like I figured it out like because you could have like
Mhm.
most horror movies do have funny stuff in them. So I'm like I don't think it needs to be like soon as it's dealing with them like like oh Jason's gonna chop off my head like type of thing. Like you're still gonna like walk in and there's like you mean Michael Myers walking in on the people having sex and he has like a ghost outfit on. Like there's still funny stuff that happens in those movies that like I still laugh about. So I'm fine with that. I think Chad Gable's good at that, like pulling that off and then also wanting to kill them. But I don't know what that Nikki Crossing was terrible. Like
Mhm.
uh
Yeah.
when they go into like it's not extraterrestrial, but like uh but yeah, more spooky or the like
Supernatural.
Supernatural.
supernatural. When it's bad. I don't like it at all.
Mhm.
But if it's psychological, like I'm cool with and I said this with Marlon last week. They got the fog, and that's them setting it up to scare people. Okay, I'm cool with that. But like, I want to know more about these characters, so show us more about them. Don't waste a segment of a nothing burger that
Yeah.
I felt just annoyed. So that's how I
Hmm.
felt
Yeah.
about that Nikki Cross one. And I like
Okay.
Nikki Cross. She could have pulled
Yeah.
something off, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm still trying to understand why they're involving Pat McAfee. Like, why are the tapes going to him? Why are they addressed to him?
Hmm.
Could be a nothing situation, but I'm just like, well, why then? Like, why do they have to go to somebody? They've
Because he
already
has the
taken
biggest
over
platform. He has the biggest platform.
outside of WWE.
It's bigger than WWE.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, for
Yeah.
somebody who's involved with stuff outside of WWE, he has the
Yeah,
biggest
his
platform.
platform is
Got it.
is like honestly
Got
bigger
it.
than WWE's platform, I believe. Like more people watching it and stuff. Way more.
I hate the
Yeah.
Raw's
concept
like
of the
15
VHS.
like 1.5 million. I bet you he like his podcast or his
Yeah.
TV shows like 15, 20 million.
Yeah.
Mm.
Um, so okay, well there's that. But then also like if you're gonna use a VHS,
Why are
like
we
I
doing
think it
that
would
in
I think
2024?
it would add effect if they actually showed him putting a tape in the VHS player. I don't know. That's just like aesthetics. I think that would be cool. It would
It's a
just to
flash
show
drive.
like how thorough, or a flash drive. Like if they actually found, if they like rolled out the TV card from when you're like in elementary
Oh,
school.
that would be sweet. I wish they would have done it.
Right?
They're doing the videotape because it's the Ring videotape. That's why they're doing it. Like to give you like,
Right.
oh, that's like the Ring. And it's like, okay, we needed that one time. Like you
Yeah,
could
but
do flash drives.
just show me. Say like we found a
Dropbox it.
VHS. We can play. Yeah.
Oh my god, we just got
or-
Dropbox something for the Wyatts.
Yeah.
Or like for like 4 months, dude, they've been taking over TV with popping up the QR codes. And for
Right.
a while they wasn't even acknowledging it. But then you guys started to acknowledge it on TV. So now why not have them do that? We don't need VHS because it's 2024. No one has a VCR. You can't tell me that you guys have a VCR in the back for what?
That'd be awesome though if they were like we were able to acquire one. But I think that would
Dude,
add
I
to
bet
it.
you Vince probably has VCRs on like some stuff like over there. That dude's weird as hell.
Yeah, some stuff that's probably gonna be
Well, yeah, I knew he
picked
didn't
up by
even mean
cops.
that, but yeah, he probably does. Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't want to beat
I'll-
the dead horse about the whole character reveal. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead, wait.
Also, Pat and what's his name?
Cole.
Cole. Those are the two worst people to like.
Yes.
I like Cole, but
Yes.
he's even worse than McAfee at selling the scariness of this.
Yeah.
If they had this on
trivialize it.
SmackDown, it would be so much better. Like if you had those two guys.
Brazen Bear.
Yeah.
Yep.
They would pull that off so much. It's that really hurts it a lot, I think.
I think so.
Cole is just, oh my god, it's like painful to hear him talk about it. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that was very frightening. It's like, did you practice reading that like one time?
Yeah,
Like,
then he goes, then he transitions. He's like, do you know what else is frightening?
Yeah.
And he'll be like,
nevertheless,
yeah.
Seth Rollins just boofed a Prime bottle. Like, it's like, what? Oh, he's like, oh, you know what else is spooky? Rhea licking Dom's face. Like, like, what the hell, dude?
I know.
He's so bad.
They totally take me out of it.
And I like Cole. He's bad with that. Like,
yeah. No, I agree. Who want to go next on the 3 count?
I already went.
It's Wade. Yeah, we did ours.
Oh, that was it?
Yeah.
That's it?
Wade talked about AEW, Osprey, MJF, and I talked about the Creed.
It flew by like that MJF Osprey match. It's like, went through.
All right, man. Well, if you guys are liking the Wyatt 6, the Creed brothers, or no, you're not liking the Creed brothers, if you love Bruce's suit, let us know. We'll get Wade the World One next week on the podcast.
Listen, if someone comments that isn't one of YouTube knuckleheads that says they love Brutus's suit, I will wear a suit on set tomorrow. Set
wear
like
the
I have a setter.
Wear the suit with the Liv jean shorts.
I'll do both. Yeah, I will do jean shorts with a suit, and I will stand up for the whole podcast. If we get one comment of that, yeah,
let's do it. Get one comment. I want to see Wade wear.
So we got a no hate. What? Yeah, just one. So we can get to our no hate, just debate topic. Ron, you got the topic, right?
Yeah, I got the topic. I don't have a pen. Let me see here. I'm gonna write down the number. No way, I'm not biased.
Who cares, man? Just make up a number.
Let's do it. All right, let's do it. Let's do it.
I don't care if it's biased.
All right, pick a number between 1 and 20.
1 and 20. Oh my god.
10. I do the same thing every time. Now it's up to Pierre. He's either going to go higher or lower than
5.
me.
5. 17.
That's what I thought. All right. What's the topic?
All right. Topic is who has the best women's roster right now, WWE or AEW? Who has a better women's roster?
Is this booking included? Or just roster?
No, just personnel. Do you want it to be booking?
I think that's a good question.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do it. Anything you could add to your argument of why the roster is better.
Okay. Or which division is better? And that can include, are you fine with the booking as well, Pierre?
I'm cool. I mean, I don't know much about AEW's roster, but I'll wing it. I've seen enough
I'll choose AEW
pictures
side
of
since I'm the one who watches that more. I think that's uh I think that's probably better for the debate, right, Pierre?
Okay. Yeah, we'll work it out. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
All right.
Unless
So
he has like a poster of Tony Storm in his room that I don't know about, but
who wants to go first?
I'll go.
Okay, I'll give you 1 minute. I'll give you 10-second warning.
Okay.
All right. Are you ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
All right. Who has the best roster who
So,
has the best women's roster?
all right. So when it comes to who has the best women's roster in professional wrestling, I'm picking WWE. When I look at the landscape of the roster on WWE, I want to start with NXT yet, but we look at SmackDown. We got Nia Jackson, we got Bayley, we got Tiffany Stratton, who's the up and coming star. She's on the rise, even though she got her Money in the Bank briefcase smash. You know she's about to get a new one, so that's going to still make big numbers. It's going to be all pink and glittery, sparkles and everything like that. We still get Jade and Bianca on SmackDown. We got Naomi on SmackDown. We get over to Raw, probably the best storyline in professional wrestling right now. We got Rhea Ripley. Who doesn't love Rhea Ripley? She's probably one of the hottest women out. We also got Liv Morgan, arguably also one of the hottest women out right now.
10 seconds.
Just those two alone on the roster is just phenomenal and entertaining. They've been able to hold down the Raw roster by
Time.
themselves.
All right. Mr. Wade, you will get 1 minute. Go.
yeah, I think you could have all these big names, but if you don't let them actually have good wrestling matches, it doesn't mean anything. In AEW, they actually let the women wrestle these matches. And if we were arguing this like last year, where I would say the women's booking was not stellar in AEW, that would be one thing. But right now, like WWE, we can't even like Liv Morgan's like she's in the best story, but she's defended the title one time, basically, since she's had it to Zelina Vega. Let's be real. Like if it was the roster was that good, she'd be having some banger matches with people. Uh AEW, and I'll just start with this because I know I'm almost out of time. The Tony
10
Storm
seconds.
Mariah May story has been going on for over 6 months. Long-term storytelling, and it's probably the best women's story going on right now.
Time. All right. All right. Let's do 45-second rebuttal just because there's a lot.
Okay.
It's a lot. It's a deep subject. Deep topic. All right. 45. Go.
So you mentioned real quick about long-term storytelling. Look closer to Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan. It's always been a whole year with them storytelling this. They had history from being a tag team, then Rhea's turning on Liv, injuring Liv coming back to injure Rhea, and now Liv being champion, trying to take Rhea's man down, Dirty Dom. So we got that. Then I want to even get into NXT real quick. The women on NXT are doing amazing things. Soul Ruka, the Soul Snatcher
10
move
seconds.
is probably one of the best moves I've ever seen a wrestler do. And you got Jada Parker, you got Nikita Lyons,
Time.
Little Vice.
All
They
right.
got baddies on NXT.
Yeah. So I gotta
Hold
go.
on.
I are you ready? Can
No,
I go?
no. Hold on a second.
1,000, 2 1,000. I could count
All right,
also and
go.
do it. Yeah. I mean, this wasn't just who has the like best butts out of the two rosters. So Nikita Lyons is Nolan Void, or all those people. Like Soul Snatcher is a cool finisher, but I'm talking about the real graps out here. And if you look at the storyline, that what's Bailey's storyline really with Nia Jax? Terrible. Okay, that's the second belt. You got the second belt on AEW, and you
10 seconds.
had and you got the great story with Britt Baker and Sasha Banks, and then below that, that was also vying for that, you have the all right, whatever. There's more stories.
Man, I feel like okay. This is tough.
You like
Thomas
butts or no?
is great. I do like butts.
I'm huge
I like
into
butts.
butt. Yeah, I like butts, but that wasn't.
I like a lot of
yeah.
butts on NXT.
Yeah.
Pierre, I gotta go with that one. I wasn't even thinking about the butts. All right.
All right. If you actually care about wrestling, vote for your support of me in there. I'm over here. And I'm the thirstiest one of all of us. So I didn't even bring up a butt one time. I could have brought up Sky Blue's butt. Like, she's popular because of that. But no, I was just
That's true.
talking about the wrestling. So
oh man, good butts and mediocre wrestling.
I actually do, and I really do believe the storytelling for the women's roster has been way better in AEW. Like I wasn't, and I hated on it last year.
Exactly. I was gonna say that's recently.
It
That's
was
like
this whole year.
Start of the year.
Really good.
Start of the year.
Because like if you guys look even on Ring of Honor, which is part of AEW, you had I didn't even get into that, like the Athena and Billy Starks story is like one of the better stories in wrestling, and that's on Ring of Honor and one of the like on a side thing of AEW. So they've been booking the women like really well. And then the Mariah May Tony Storm thing, like that's really well done. I didn't even get into. I was trying to get to Willow Nightingale.
Yes, Mercedes.
No, well, I mean that was a sick match and that was a good storyline. But her and why am I blanking on her name right now? Chris Statlander. Yeah, Chris Statlander. That's a good story. Like they got a lot of stuff going on, and I'm just very disappointed with Triple H's booking of the women. Like you got
there's so many of them.
You got Bailey, who's like one of the best baby faces, and like, what is she doing? Like breaking a Money in the Bank briefcase? Are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
So,
do you think Vakur and I know it all depends on booking, but do you think Vakur and Julia will have a pretty big impact on, or what kind of impact do you think
they'll let them wrestle harder on NXT than I think they would on Raw?
Okay.
Like you're gonna have some crazy matches with each other and Roxanne.
I hope you're right. That'd be cool.
So, man, when you brought up Jada Parker, I was like, this fool. Exactly.
Cheat code.
Like Nikita Lyons. Cheat code. I was like, dog, are you kidding me? I like Jada Parker, dude. But Nikita Lyons has had like 2 matches in 2 years. Oh, yeah, her finisher with the split booty drop on someone. I'm like,
then twerks on him.
She out there partying with Priest though.
Oh yeah,
I saw that.
Yeah,
I saw
that. Priest is the man.
Priest is cleaning up, man. It's crazy. Yeah. All right, so, yeah.
Let's say they got it, but not it to next time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot that was even a thing.
Yeah, we'll say it for next time. But who do you guys thought won the no hate just debate topic? Let us know. Comment below.
Who has the better wrestling and who has the better butts?
If you guys like butts, let us know. If you're on a kind of don't want none unless they got buns, huh?
That's right.
Both for me. Well, until next time, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, share, comment, give us feedback. We just trying to change the landscape. Vote, not vote, but subscribe because it helps our channel. Like, share. We're trying to grow the channel, get more audience, more eyes on us. So just help us out, man. We really appreciate it. Until next time, this is Table Letters and Bumps, Ringside P, Marvelous Marlin, Wonderful Wade. We out of here.
Peace.